And that pitch count got up real high early on, and Texas A&M was just able to take advantage.
So Wesley looking to get off to a better start today. She'll face Coco Woolley to begin things here in the top of the first, and she delivers a strike to begin the ball game. 11:02 a.m. Central Standard Time. First pitch here on this St. Patrick's Day, an early start time. So for those of us in the Eastern time zone, good afternoon. For everyone else tuning in, still good morning on this Sunday. Palm Sunday as well, to go along with St. Patrick's Day. Woolley fouls one off, strike two. And also happy Selection Sunday to all who celebrate.
There's a lot of reasons to celebrate on this Sunday.
Especially if you're a sports fan.
That would be the case.
Coco Woolley, followed by Jasmine Hill, then Trinity Cannon, the top three in the Aggies order, due up to face Wesley in this top of the first. That misses, and the count evens up 2-2. The middle of the Aggie order features Julia Cottrell, Ayanna Coleman, and Allie Enright. And then you'll have, rounding out the 1 through 9 batting lineup, Wiggins, Eshtay, and Powell. Slow roller up the line to first. Kennedy says, "I'll take it myself," and she gets there and beats Woolley to the bag for out number one.
We talked a lot yesterday about the speed from Texas A&M, and as you see there, still close, but Madison Kennedy able to handle it herself, make the smart play, able to field it, turn around, tags first, and something that you need to grab in a game like this is momentum early, get some quick outs as soon as you can.
No one on, one gone for the right-handed hitting center fielder, number 77, Jasmine Hill. She takes the first pitch for ball one. That's going to be just below the knees. Did not miss by much on the drop ball, and the count is 2-0. Wesley, a 6-2 record in the circle this year for the Bulldogs. Change up there, and it's high, and that's ball three. This will be Wesley's 9th start and 11th overall appearance in the circle this year for Mississippi State. She's thrown 41 2/3 innings this season. That's right down the middle, as you would expect, and the count is now 3-1 on Hill. "29 hits allowed, just 15 earned runs given up in over 40 innings this year by Wesley, as she issues her first walk of the ball game. Hasn't walked very many. That's only the 12th walk in almost 42 innings thrown.
Yeah, and a pitch that usually gets hitters to swing at that off-speed ball, and Hill just really smart with her patience and holding at those pitches. We saw a couple of them, one for ball three and then again for ball four, and just was able to hold off.
And there's strike one as Cannon steps in for the first time today. The senior first baseman, a right-handed hitter. Trinity Cannon, a good offensive weapon for A&M and head coach Tricia Ford this season. Nice pitch. As Wesley went down and out, caught the corner. Count is 0-2 on Cannon. Hill just drew her 20th walk of the season. She's now tied with Cannon, the current hitter, for most walks on the team. She's at first base, one out. Snap throw to first, and Kennedy has to hustle to get over there and save that ball from heading into right field as Hill gets back to the bag at first, standing up.
Hill had to duck herself a little bit, was going straight for that head, so play could have ended up a lot different.
The 1-2, swing and a miss. Big strikeout there. First strikeout in the ball game for Wesley. That now gives her 47 Ks on the season. There's 1 on and 2 gone. Cannon just struck out for the 8th time this year. 2 gone. Hill remains on at first. The catcher, Julia Cottrell, cleanup hitter in the order, steps in and takes ball 1 up and away. Senior right-hander out of Wichita, Kansas, batting over .350 on the year. Has started every game this season for the Aggies. And a really good defensive catcher, too. She is, in many regards, the backbone of this A&M team. A veteran, everyday catcher who also can hit for average and power. Any coach in America will take that. That catches the upper half of the strike zone, just above the belt. And the count is 2 balls and a strike on Cottrell. The Bulldogs have Wes Olowski catching today with Kennedy, Hawkins, Edward, and Barbary. Your starting infield from right to left. As that pitch misses high and outside, ball 3. Hitters count now on Cottrell. Starting in the outfield for Mississippi State from left to right, St. Clair, Sacco, and Cook. So at least the starting lineup defensively the same as it was yesterday. 3-1 in there. Well, Cottrell tried to sell it, but clearly that was a strike. Now the count's full.
Either she tried to sell it or she really thought it was a ball. I mean, I can see where you can think it is a ball, but snuck its way inside, makes it a full count, and a couple of ways for the Bulldogs to record an out now.
The payoff pitch. That misses downstairs. So 2 walks have put 2 Aggies on base with 2 outs. Hills at second, Cottrell's at first. That is the 14th walk drawn this year by Cottrell. The Aggies as a team do draw a lot of walks. They're very patient and disciplined at the plate. Wesley has walked 2 in the inning to put herself in a bit of a jam here as the DP, Ayanna Coleman, steps up and fouls back the first pitch, strike 1. We saw A&M score first in both games yesterday, and they're trying to do it again here in the first inning on Sunday.
They've done it all year. They get on the board early, and they get a lot on the board when they get themselves on the board.
That rise ball just missed, a little high and inside. The Bulldogs dugout, I think, asking exactly where that ball missed, just so they know for future reference. The 1-1 to Coleman. High fly ball. Could be trouble. Deep to right field and gone. A 2-out, 3-run home run from Ayanna Coleman. And just like that, the Aggies, like they did in the first 2 ball games of this series, take the early lead.
3rd home run of the season for Coleman, and it's something about Texas A&M about early on in games. They get some base runners on bags, and from there they just count on their teammates to have quality at-bats, and there's another example of it.
Coleman making just her 5th start of the season, and if she can get her bat going, then all of a sudden this already good A&M offense becomes a borderline great offense. 3-0, they're on top. Wesley, the 2 walks come back to bite her badly. And we'll see. It's a tight strike zone here early on. We'll see if it remains a tight strike zone for both teams throughout the ball game as Enright steps in. She had a big 3-run home run yesterday in game 2 for A&M. Coleman homers. Cottrell and Hill also come around to score. So the Aggies 3 runs on just 1 hit in this inning. That's in there for a strike. Enright on the year, batting .431. It's not very often you see the 6-hole hitter be the team's leading hitter, but A&M showcasing their offensive depth here this weekend. They got the junior Enright still batting in the bottom half of the lineup.
I think it just speaks to the talent of this team and what they can really do. There isn't a missing piece for Texas A&M that is shown during the season.
Yeah, no, and even though pitching depth is not going to be necessarily a strength in numbers, the talent of the pitching staff certainly is there. There's not a huge drop-off when you go from Kennedy to, say, an Ackerman.
And considering how much they get used, you don't need the depth because they're all working all the time, getting innings of work, and if one of them struggles, you go to another one, and they just pick it back up.
A full count to Allie Enright, the right-handed hitting right fielder, and there is the 3rd walk. Well, this is something to keep an eye on, especially when Kennedy takes the circle for A&M. If the strike zone is going to be that, then we might be in for a very lengthy ball game today. I'm not complaining, I'm just making an observation. That's in there at the knees for a strike as Wiggins steps in for the first time today. The Aggies' right-handed hitting second baseman, a senior from Wiley, Texas, and a .308 hitter on the year. Hit her 6th homer of the season in game 1 yesterday. That just missed. Now the crowd's getting restless.
Yeah, this is definitely not a zone for a pitcher today.
It's a very hitter-friendly strike zone
Yes.
here in the first inning. Which again, if you're a coach or a player, as long as it's consistent,
it is what it is.
Exactly. Then you can adapt and play on. That ball downstairs. The count, 2 balls and a strike on Wiggins. State's already got some action in the bullpen. Delaney Everett, the freshman lefty, down there warming up. Did not see her yesterday. So if she comes in, it'll be her first action on the weekend. Swing and a miss. Nice change up there. Technically a foul tip into the catcher's mitt. Either way, strike 2. And the count evens up 2-2 on Wiggins. Six home runs, 6 doubles, 16 RBI on the year for Wiggins, batting in the 7-hole this afternoon. She fouls off that one. With 2 outs and 2 strikes, you're going to see the runner Enright at first take off as soon as Wesley releases the ball. And Enright's got good speed, so if Wiggins can hit something down the line or in the gap, it wouldn't be shocking to see Enright be able to score from first base. 2-2, fouled back. So we'll do it again as Wiggins stays alive. And we saw this yesterday from this A&M lineup 1 through 9, the ability when they get down in the count or a 2-strike count, they're able to fight and foul off a lot of pitches and keep the at-bat alive, which is such a huge key to be good on offense.
Yeah, I mean, we saw it yesterday with Aspen Wesley, who had an inning and 2/3 work, 76 pitches thrown in under 2 innings, and at the moment kind of feels on track for that again as she's sitting hit 36.
The payoff pitch. And that misses below the knees. And again, Wesley's not missing by much, but she is having a hard time finding the strike zone. It's been a rough weekend for Wesley. Some of the same things that plagued her yesterday are against a good team, a top 25 team from Mississippi State. So the meeting in the circle's over. Taryn Mowat-McKinney will walk back to the MSU dugout. It's her first year in Starkville. As a strike delivers. So whatever she said worked, at least for one pitch. As Wesley finds the strike zone against the number 8 hitter in the order, Kramer Eshtay, who is batting .267 on the season. That misses. Change up just above the waist. Maybe a little higher than that. Brenham, Texas, junior, the left-handed hitting Eshtay. One of only 2. That ball lifted foul for a strike, and that'll be strike 2. Eshtay, in fact, is the only hitter now in the lineup for A&M hitting below .275.
Which is crazy to think of, to be completely honest, with the success this team has had. It's just one of those teams that's smart.
Foul ball.
You and I talked about it briefly during a break yesterday, I think. If they did rankings for teams, they would be a top 10 team with the highest IQ, like softball IQ, just very smart. They don't make a whole lot of errors. They understand it very, very well. It's really impressive to watch.
The 2-strike pitch misses high and outside, so the count is even now. Deuces wild. A 2-2 count, 2 gone, 2 on the bases, already 3 runs home, despite A&M only having 1 base hit. Off the handle of the bat and into the Bulldog dugout, staying alive is Eshtay. 4 walks issued this inning by Wesley. In her previous 41 innings thrown this year, 11 walks total. So an uncharacteristic start for Wesley. This ball lifted foul again. Out of play. Over there to the VIP section down there in left field. We've got a couple of folks wearing their green down there.
Scattered throughout the stadium, you see green. So we've got some supporters, some people that follow the tradition.
I've already had somebody pinch me today for not wearing green. Hard hit ball, but right to Hawkins, who throws the first in time, and the inning is over. But
any head coach in America would dream to have a pitcher like Emily Kennedy and be as consistent as she has been.
Has almost 100 more strikeouts than walks this season. Has thrown already 83 1/3 innings. Teams are only hitting $161 against her. And timeouts called already. Got a little bit of dirt in the eye of the catcher, Cottrell. Strike 1 delivered by Kennedy as she faces the Bulldog leadoff hitter, Sierra Sacco, who has been an on-base machine this season. A .333 batting average, but she also has been walked 26 times to give her a .526 on-base percentage. That ball high and outside. Lots of velocity from Kennedy. It'll be intriguing to see how she adjusts to what has been early on a very small strike zone as Sacco fouls that one back for strike 2, and the count evens up. It'll be Sacco, Barbary, Kennedy, 1, 2, 3. In this home half of the first for Mississippi State. Sacco, a junior out of Louisiana. Brand new to the program, spent her first 2 years at Louisiana Tech. Sacco again spoils that one, just a late swing to foul it off and to stay alive. Count remains 2-2. The middle of the order today for Samantha Ricketts and the Bulldogs is Paige Cook, Matalasi Fa'apito, and Ella Wesolowski. The bottom third is Hawkins, Edwards, and St. Clair. That's your MSU 1 through 9 batting order. Nice take there by Sacco. And the count goes full. One thing to keep an eye on today, this is now State's third time to see Kennedy. So what kind of adjustment can the hitters make as Sacco draws a leadoff walk to begin the bottom of the first?
Yeah, I think it's about adjustments you make after seeing her twice already, but I also think, at least from what we saw in the top of the first, you're going to get a little bit of help with the strike zone. So you don't have to strictly focus on what you've already seen from her. You're going to get a little help today, as of now at least.
And so far, now granted, it's just the second batter she's faced, but Kennedy, when she's missing the strike zone, is missing badly. And she's already behind the hitter Barbary, 2-0.
And I think something that we saw yesterday, Mississippi State batters, we saw chasing after they got out of a rhythm, and Emily Kennedy was able to deliver a couple of strikes and just got them chasing all over the place. That's one of the things I think you learn is that pitch selection. When Emily Kennedy gets up in the count, she can waste a couple of pitches. We don't need to chase.
Exactly. But both Sacco and now Barbary have gotten ahead of Kennedy. It's now 3-1 on Barbary, and already time called by Cottrell to walk out there and talk to the A&M ace, who is the reigning national pitcher of the week. Barbary steps back in. Timeout is over. The 3-1. Boy, Barbary couldn't quite get the bat around fast enough. And that's the challenge when you're facing Kennedy, is that even when it's a good pitch and a good swing occurs, it's coming at you so fast, hard to get that barrel around quick enough.
Yeah, some of the pitches Emily Kennedy has thrown have been very hittable. Besides the fact, just the velocity that she throws, that's a quick split decision that the batter has to make. So we've seen, I think, combined 6 walks.
Yes.
4 by Wesley and now 2 from Emily Kennedy. So, yeah, you're going to have to do something. And it's uncharacteristic from both of these pitchers to see those kinds of walks.
Exactly.
Especially 4 walks or 2 walks at the end of a game, sure. But in the first inning,
rare for sure. That ball was a little bit high. And now you've got both of MSU's assistants at first and third chirping at the home plate umpire. And there's your makeup call. And now it evens back up.
that would seem to be the case.
2 balls and a strike. The count on Kennedy. Oh, she almost hit her. 3-1, hitters count. And right now, with Aspen Wesley, she was missing on the edges. Kennedy right now is just straight up missing the strike zone altogether.
Yeah, and there's a little bit of a difference with missing edges and missing completely. When you're missing the strike zone, you at least have a chance of getting a batter to chase. When you're throwing it a couple of inches away from the body of the hitter.
Kennedy hits one high, hits one deep, and we are tied. A 3-run home run for the Aggies in the top of the first, a 3-run home run for the Bulldogs in the bottom of the first. 11 home runs on the year now for Madison Kennedy, and State has scored their first runs of the weekend against Emily Kennedy. And in that battle of the Kennedys, it's the one in white who comes away victorious. That would have been a home run at a baseball stadium, much less a softball field.
It is amazing what she continues to do this season. We talked about the battle of Emily and Madison Kennedy in game one. Emily Kennedy won that battle, but early in this game, you see Madison Kennedy taking advantage, especially with the way that strike zone is. Unless it's up the middle, it's not a strike. Madison Kennedy was able to figure that out and took advantage of it.
We are tied at 3. Buckle up, folks.
It's amazing how, well, at the moment at least, almost how identical the top and the bottom of the first inning have been. Two walks, only one hit per team, and they were both home runs.
And it's each team's best pitcher in the circle when it happens. Paige Cook hits one hard but foul, so she's now behind in the count. A ball and 2 strikes. It was Coleman, a 3-run home run for the Aggies to begin the ball game. Then Kennedy steps up and gets her own 3-run home run. And the Aggies have yet to record an out in this half inning. Sacco walk, Barbary walk, Kennedy 3-run home run, just like the Bulldogs drew it up. Cook hits one on the ground, a 2-hopper out to second. That's where Wiggins picks it up and flips to Cannon in time, and that is out number 1. And that'll bring up the Bulldog DP, Matalasi Fa'apito, making her first start on the weekend.
And I think if you're in Mississippi State, you'd like to take advantage of this situation where you only have one out and you were already able to tie the game back up. So you want to try and put more runs on the board, but if worst comes to worst and you can't, it's still an impressive effort that you were able to tie it up just like that after your struggles yesterday.
And even Cook made good contact, just got over the top of that last pitch. If she barrels that one up, that thing's headed for the gap in right center field, and Cook might have a double. And Fa'apito, a good hitter, has not made very many starts this season. 3rd start as a hitter in the lineup. Has been used primarily as a pitcher this year for the Bulldogs. Good take right there as she was in the hole 0-2. Now the count's 1-2. That ball's downstairs. So 11 home runs on the year for Kennedy, 35 RBIs. I mean, she's now getting into that area where you wonder if SEC teams are going to throw her strikes anymore. But I guess when you're on base and there's already 2 on, you kind of have to throw her strikes. That's why those walks to Sacco and Barbary were so huge.
I think it would be smart not to throw her the ball anymore, but sometimes you get in a position where you have to, and sometimes you have to deal with the consequences.
Fa'apito fighting off a couple of balls from Kennedy, and now the count is 2-2. 1 out, no one on. 3 runs, though, have already scored, so that's going to be downstairs. Good job by Fa'apito. She was behind 0-2. Now the count's full. You've got the freshman 373 hitter, Wesolowski, in the on-deck circle. Payoff pitch. Inside ball 4. 3rd walk of the inning issued by Emily Kennedy. We might have ourselves a good old-fashioned Sunday afternoon slugfest developing here in Starkville.
Fans might be in for a treat if that's the case, but I'm not sure that's what either team wants.
Oh, the ball is bobbled, which means no double play. Fa'apito is going to be safe at second as Wiggins could not field the ball cleanly. Still, though, recovered in time to get Wesolowski out at first, and there are 2 gone. A tailor-made 4-6-3 double play, but Wiggins could not get it in the glove cleanly. She gets the out, though, so you can't call it an error. But it does keep the inning alive.
Would have loved the double play, but getting 1 is better than getting none. If you get none, you got runners on first and second, and you get a long way to go. But now, just a runner on second, 2 outs.
Hawkins fouls it off the umpire. So time will be called. Make sure our home plate ump is okay, as Hawkins, the reigning SEC co-freshman of the week, is at the plate. She's behind in the count 1-2. Lead run is on at second base. We have had in this first inning 6 runs on the board off of just 2 base hits.
Yeah, there have been a whole lot of walks, and seems like they figured that strike zone out and are taking advantage of it.
Boy, Hawkins was fooled on that one. A rise ball up and in, just got enough of it to stay alive, and the count remains 2-2. Low and outside. So 3-2, a full count on Hawkins, who is batting .353 on the year. That one comes in on the hands, and she fights that one off. Really good bat speed from Hawkins to stay alive. Hawkins pops it up, playable in center. Calling for it is Hill. She makes the grab, and the inning is over. But a Madison Kennedy 3-run home run to the deepest part of the ballpark. 3-run homers. And we are tied at 3. Hit the reset button as we head to the top of the second with Wesley back in the circle and Powell, the 9-hole hitter, leading things off. That's an easy out. So Powell makes things easy on the Bulldogs there, hits the first pitch and pops it up foul territory over to Barbary, out number 1. Maybe inning 2 will be the exact opposite of inning 1.
It's very possible, but I mean, it's still amazing, though. We've seen at the end of inning number 1,
wow,
46 pitches from Aspen Wesley and then 42 from Emily Kennedy, and now we've seen 2 pitches from Aspen Wesley in the second inning.
So a couple of slappers, and they've been retired as quickly as possible, and it brings up Jasmine Hill, who drew a walk and scored on Coleman's homer back in the first. Fouls off the first pitch, strike 1.
So we won't see a 3-pitch inning, but it was close.
Close, yes. the perfect inning.
Yeah.
The 0-1. Up and in, count evens up. But it's got to make Wesley feel good. When she walked off the circle at the end of the first, she was down by 3 runs. Her team comes back and gives her some run support, and now it's almost as if mentally she can restart the ball game almost.
Yeah, it's almost like we're going to play a 6-inning game now, because you come in tied. Both teams did exactly what the other team did in the first inning. 1 hit, 3 runs, a bunch of walks. Pitchers almost had the same exact pitch count, so it's almost like a brand new ball game. And you kind of understand that strike zone now. And for Mississippi State, like you said earlier, Wesley is just missing on the corners, so able to adjust and able to figure that zone out.
The 2-2. High fly ball, deep to left, but it's foul. No play. Running out of real estate there was St. Clair. Boy, she gave it a good try. Even jumped at the wall, but staying alive is Hill. Hill, a .394 hitter on the year, one of A&M's best offensive weapons, leads the team with 28 hits. Hits one deep, hits one gone. A line drive, screaming home run. Second home run of the ball game in as many innings for the Aggies, and they retake the lead at 4-3.
That's a phenomenal hit. One, because of the power. Two, because I wasn't sure it was going to get out of the park. It looks like Sierra Sacco in center field is going to be able to range back, but that ball just glides and never stops and gets out of the park.
That was about as good of a swing as you're going to see all year long in college softball. Absolutely crushed that one. So both her and Kennedy's home runs have been to the deepest part of the stadium. So just when you thought Wesley and the Bulldogs might get out of the inning unscathed, Hill says not quite. Her 8th homer of the season. She and Cannon are now tied for the team lead in homers for the Aggies, and Cannon is at the plate. Struck out her first time up. That ball misses off the inside corner. So now Wesley's got to regroup, come back and limit the damage right here. It's going to be hard, though. Cannon, a very good hitter. 362, actually 357 now the average. She drops a little bit, 5 points on the average after she struck out her first time up against Wesley. 2-2 the count with 2 gone, no one on. Cottrell in the on-deck circle if Cannon can keep the inning alive. That misses off the inside corner. And now the count's full. If Cannon and Cottrell both can reach, then you have Coleman, who already has a home run today, due back up for A&M. That's in there for a strike. Huge strikeout to end the inning.
The recipe for success for both of these teams is we're either going to take walks or we're going to hit home runs. We don't have a single base hit. We have 3 hits in this ball game, and we have 3 home runs, but a total of 7 runs. It's incredible to watch.
Oh, man, the ball is carrying here today at News Park. Leading off is Kylie Edwards, number 8 hitter in the order, followed by St. Clair, then Sacco. Checked her swing. She did not go around. Cottrell called for the appeal immediately, but Edwards was able to hold up. So the count is now 2-2. Edwards, a .306 hitter on the year. The ball comes in and hits her. Boy, and Edwards not too pleased with that one. And she'll take a slow walk to first base. Whew.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
Getting a little tense out here.
Yeah, I can only imagine for a batter right now how aggravating this could be as well with it's aggravating for a pitcher because of the strike zone, but it also makes it aggravating for a batter because why would you swing at anything unless it's down the middle?
Yes.
And that allows the pitcher to put the ball all over the place if they really want to.
9-hole hitter St. Clair showing bunt, and she takes it downstairs for ball 1. So Emily Kennedy has walked 3 and plunked 1. 4 free passes, and then St. Clair pops up the bunt. Boy, a mistake there by the veteran St. Clair, and a break for the Aggies. And it brings up now the top of the order hitter, Sacco. So St. Clair cannot get the bunt down. Runner on at first remains Edwards. Here comes Sacco. She takes strike 1 as Kennedy fires one right down the middle. Sacco drew a walk, her first time up in the first. And there you see her numbers on the year. Is not going to be someone who hits home runs or doubles or drives in a lot of runs, but man, she is the prototypical leadoff hitter because all she does is get on base.
Yeah, may not drive a lot of runs in, but she gets to touch home plate quite a bit herself. And it's something most teams need, is that leadoff hitter who has the ability to already has scored 26 runs this season. I mean, averages a run scored per game. Can't ask for much more.
Wow, a rare strikeout. The first strike, I say rare, it's not rare to see Kennedy get a strikeout this season, but it's rare today.
Strikeouts coming at a premium
Yes.
today.
Oh man, first strikeout today for Kennedy. And that
Put
one,
it right where it needed to be.
yeah, caught the outside corner. Look at that line drive, but the ball's dropped at first base and everyone's going to be safe. Boy, Powell made a great diving stop to rob Barbary of a base hit. That ball just kicked up the dirt a little bit. And Powell able to grab it on a short hop, but then her throw to first I thought was good, and Cannon just couldn't catch it.
Yeah, it's going to be ruled a hit, and it should have made the play, just wasn't able to, and I'll say it, we've got a weird game today.
Listen, there are no secrets on Sundays, right? Both teams have seen each other twice already. So you know what each team's going to do at almost every at-bat. And here we go again, 2 on, 2 gone. Madison Kennedy at the plate again. And all she did her first time up was hit a 3-run home run. Can she do it again? The count, 2 balls and a strike. You do have a base open.
It wouldn't surprise me the way this game is going.
Oh, that was a beautiful pitch. A beautiful pitch by Kennedy. But also a dangerous one, because that ball hung up there just a little bit. 2-2 on its way. Kennedy out in front of it. And that ball is going to be fouled out of play. We'll do it again. Emily Kennedy in the circle. Madison Kennedy at the plate. And like you said, they do give Barbary credit for a single. Oh, they got the corner that time. That pitch had not been given to either pitcher in the first inning in this one.
We've got some fun here on a almost afternoon Sunday, depending on where you are. It's we've got some fun at News Park.
A wild one already. Leading off the inning offensively for A&M is the catcher Julia Cottrell. Batting cleanup in the order, but leading off this inning. Drew a walk her first time up in the first, scored on Coleman's home run back in the first as well. Swing and a miss. Boy, she was fooled badly on that one. The rise ball high and outside from Wesley gets the swing and a miss. Count evens up 1-1. That misses off the inside corner. And there's been just the slightest hint of inconsistency now with the strike zone, and that's going to get the crowd on the case of the umpires in a hurry as that ball is fouled off. Was probably going to be ball 3, but Cottrell took a hack at it. Now the count's even, 2-2. Cottrell, Coleman, Enright, the middle of the order, due up here in the top of the third for A&M. That ball fouled straight back. We'll do it again. If the net wasn't there, or as high as it is, that ball would be headed straight for our laps.
I think we could have caught that one. That was
maybe you could have. I would have grabbed the laptops.
I mean, I agree with that too.
Hard hit ball, foul. Way out in front of that one was Cottrell. Might have been a change up there from Wesley. And the count remains 2-2. A&M, 4 runs on 2 base hits. Mississippi State, 3 runs on 2 base hits. No errors committed. The Aggies have had 6 base runners. The Bulldogs also have had 6 base runners through the first 2 innings. Just missed the outside corner.
And we're at that point now where it feels like any pitch that is close, we're going to get a reaction from the crowd.
Yes, that's just where we are at this point. Swing and a miss. Nice job there on the rise ball from Wesley. As tight as the strike zone has been, Wesley now has 3 Ks in as many innings.
Yeah, it's been a really odd outing for Aspen Wesley as we take a look at this strikeout. Rise ball got her chasing high, but it's just been an odd outing. She's allowed 2 home runs and 4 walks, but the only 2 hits are the home runs. So just it's very weird how this game has been put together.
And speaking of home runs, here's the lady that got the home run derby started for us, Ayanna Coleman, her 3-run blast back in the first. At the knees for a strike. So Wesley, it looks like she has made a couple of adjustments to the strike zone, the way it's being called. She has not issued a walk since the first inning. The 0-2. That's wasted upstairs. Count is now 1-2 strikes on Coleman, who after her home run in the first is now batting .292 on the season. But a .750 slugging percentage. High fly ball, foul and out of play off to our left. It remains a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Overcast afternoon here at News Park, but nice temperatures. We should be in the mid to upper 60s the rest of the afternoon. Whatever slight breeze there is blowing out, so you're not feeling it blowing in at you at the ballpark. I know Cody appreciates that. Swing and a miss. Wesley comes down and in on the hands of Coleman and gets a huge strikeout, her 4th of the ball game.
Yeah, and I mean, way inside, way low, a lot of movement on it. I was a bit shocked that she swung on it, but great effort from Aspen Wesley to get her to chase to get the second out of the inning.
Her number of strikeouts have now matched her number of walks as she has seemingly gotten settled in here in the top of the third. Strike one delivered to Enright.
And yesterday in game one, we saw her throw 76 pitches in 1 2/3 innings, and she's already got 2 2/3 innings under her belt as she approaches that 76 mark. So improvement and is getting back into her groove, it feels like, as of right now.
Allie Enright was walked her first time up, batting over 400 on the season still. The 1-1. That's going to be in there for a strike. Wesley doing a good job right now for the Bulldogs. Out in front of Enright, trying to retire the Aggies in order here in the third. Change up, taken high. 2-2 the count now on Enright. She's been walked 11 times on the year. Has an on-base percentage over 500. Swing and a miss. Look at that. Aspen Wesley straight dealing in the top of the third as she retires the Aggies in order. Looking to get back there here in 2024. They missed out on the postseason a season ago. Alongside Cody Blazak, I'm Anthony Craven. Paige Cook leads off the home half of the third for the Bulldogs. Grounded out her first time up today. Still batting, though, .333 on the season. It'll be the middle of the Bulldog order, the heart of the order. Cook, Fapito, and Wesolowski due up to face Kennedy. Cook turns on one and lines it into the Aggies bullpen, which there is a little bit of action going on down there. Three-two is high. Leadoff walk is issued. Tying run on at first for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, and this is, I'm sure Emily Kennedy is not thrilled about the way this game has gone early on. Has already thrown her fourth walk, like you said, came into the season with 25 of them, but threw 80 plus innings of work. So just, I mean, at the moment is averaging more than a walk per inning.
Definitely uncharacteristic, but a couple of things at play, a small strike zone, and also the hitters for State are not taking the bait on some of the balls outside. And now Kennedy hits her second different Bulldog hitter. And that was a rise ball up and in, and it just smacked the hands of Fapito. Boy, and Fapito, just like Edwards before her,
not thrilled.
Gives a little bit of a glare towards the circle. It now brings up Wesolowski. She'll take a hack at the first pitch and foul it back for strike one. Time called by fifth-year head coach for Mississippi State, Samantha Ricketts. We might see a pinch runner at either second or first or both. And we're going to have a pinch runner at first base replacing Fapito. On the bases will be number 4, the junior Riley Hull. So State getting a little extra speed on the bases. So 4 walks and 2 hit batters, 6 free passes given up by Emily Kennedy here in the first 3 innings. I tell you what, the inside corner is now being given at least to Kennedy. The outside corner, though, is still a bit of a mystery for both pitchers. So Kennedy is, I think wisely so, now trying to hit that inside corner against the right-handers early and often. The 1-2, grounded, right side, only play is to first. That will operate essentially like a sac bunt for Wesolowski. Both runners now over in scoring position, less than 2 outs.
Yeah, I don't think that's a play that you can hate. It advances your base runners to second and third. It's only the first out of the inning if you're the Bulldogs, so it gives you still some time and space to work with to try and score a run. You've got options. You have the opportunity for a sac fly or whatever it may be that you're trying to bring in. It gives you that availability to try and score a run.
Hawkins hits one to right field. Grabbing it is Enright. Coming home is Cook, and she'll be safe. No, she's out! Holding on to the ball barely was Cottrell. Enright, a heck of a throw in from right field. And Cook is tagged out barely, and that is the second.
I don't know what they are doing over at College Station, but every single throw we've seen from the outfield, the relay to home has been in time this week, and it's probably been 3 or 4 outs that A&M has picked up from that, but my Lord, it is a cannon from the outfield to home base, and it's really been something to watch. You don't see many teams that can execute it that well and that often.
The A&M defense has been on point all weekend long. So A&M holding on to a 1-run advantage heading into the middle innings here. That ball misses outside. Aspen Wesley struck out the side in order, an inning ago. And we'll see if she can carry over that confidence and momentum here to the 4th inning. Facing the bottom 3 in the order, Wiggins, Eshte, and Powell. Line drive foul. Count remains 1-2 as Wiggins fought that one off. So clearly both pitchers after the first inning and a half have now settled down and settled in. And we have more of a normal softball game developing here.
We were having fun in that first inning and a half. Had 3 home runs.
Whoa.
I mean, that's fun to watch, though. Strikeouts
Yes.
are always a pleasure, and that's the 4th straight by Aspen Wesley, all 4 of them swinging.
That now gives her 6 Ks in the ball game. And quite honestly, she's out-dueling Emily Kennedy at this point.
I mean, Aspen Wesley has really found her groove in the 3rd and now this 4th inning. 4 consecutive strikeouts. All 4 of them have been with the batter swinging. You don't see that too often.
Kramer Eshte bats 8th in the order. Just had that big outfield assist on the throw home to get Cook out trying to score from 3rd on the tag up. We'll see if she can turn good offense or good defense into good offense. That happens so often in softball. You see a player make a great defensive play to end an inning, then they're due up the next inning, and they step in and have a good at-bat. 0-2 though, the count. Hits one into left, right to St. Clair, who makes the catch for out number 2. And for the first time this weekend, Aspen Wesley, making her 2nd start on the weekend, looks comfortable and has found the groove.
That's where I was getting ready to go with that. She looks a lot more comfortable today than yesterday, and in my opinion, looks more comfortable than Emily Kennedy as well as of now. Mississippi State still trailing 1, but it just doesn't look like Emily Kennedy is comfortable in that pitcher's circle and is really relying on her teammates in the outfield and the infield to make plays for her, where, yes, Aspen Wesley is doing that as well, but has already recorded 6 strikeouts.
Yeah, the A&M has not put the ball in play very often today. Their only 2 hits have been home runs.
Well, I mean, we've got 4 total hits, and 3 of them have been home runs, so we haven't seen a whole lot of base hits as it is.
No, there has not been very many routine ground balls or lazy pop-outs here in this one so far. Been feast or famine. That just missed, a little down and in. 2 balls and a strike on Kennedy Powell. Number 9 hitter in the order, but a .290 hitter on the season, so an effective power slapper at the bottom of the order for the Aggies. Swing and a miss, changeup off the outside corner, and Powell was fooled on that one. Count evens up. Aspen Wesley, the veteran out of Neshoba County, Mississippi, one of the most decorated high school softball players in the history of Mississippi high school athletics. That's another strikeout, her 7th of the ball game, and she just trying to complete their 2nd straight sweep to begin conference play. They swept the Gamecocks of South Carolina last weekend and took the first 2 games from state this weekend in a doubleheader yesterday, as Kylie Edwards leads off the inning for the Bulldogs. Ball 1 followed by strike 1, and the count even 1-1 to Edwards, who is hitless so far today. Was hit by a pitch her first time up in the 2nd against Emily Kennedy, who has plunked 2 and walked 4 so far through 3 innings. So she is averaging 2 free passes per inning so far. It hasn't killed her, but has definitely put her in a tight spot all afternoon long.
Yeah, but what she's been able to do to limit the damage, at least, is not allow a whole lot of hits. One of them was a single and the other was a home run. Otherwise, when she is gifting these free bases to the Bulldogs, she's not allowing anything to come of it. Obviously, you want to limit the free bases in case Mississippi State is able to develop some sort of offense, but at the moment, it's not really hurting her.
Payoff pitch. Edwards spoils that one and fouls it off to the right side. And the Bulldog hitters timing up Kennedy better today than they did yesterday. There's no question about that. Hitting it towards right field is Edwards. It's going to be foul, but running out of room is Enright. So good effort there on both sides, and we'll do it again. The count remains full on Edwards. Edwards, St. Clair, and Sacco. 8, 9, and leadoff hitter in the order, stepping up this half inning for Mississippi State. If anyone reaches, Barbary, who is 1 for 1 today, will step in. Little nubber off the handle of the bat right out to Wiggins. And that's how the home half of the 4th begins. No one on, 1 gone now for Bradley St. Clair. So a jam job there on Edwards, and she is finally retired after a lengthy at-bat. Rise ball to St. Clair is high. St. Clair 0 for 1 today, .312 hitter though on the season. Takes that one downstairs. So the first one missed high, second one misses down low, and The count 2 balls and no strikes on the Bulldog slap hitting left fielder St. Clair. And that's downstairs, ball 3. And St. Clair has yet to take the bat off the shoulders. Defense drawn in. Now St. Clair shows bunt, brings back the bat, and takes that ball off the inside corner. That'll be the 5th walk issued by Kennedy. And State's got the tying run on yet again as St. Clair takes her free trip down to first base.
Yeah, it gets you to the top of the lineup. We know that Sierra Sacco gets on base a lot, whether it's from hits or from walks. I just want to try and continue that. You're only down by 1. You don't need to do anything special. Just get some offense going. You've been shut out since that first inning. Start doing what you did in the first inning again. The only issue is you've only got 2 hits in this ball game. You were rewarded for a bunch of walks in that first inning.
And that's the next step for State offensively in this ball game. You're right, is, okay, you're getting on base. Now, can you get the key base hit from someone other than Madison Kennedy once runners are on as Sacco takes a strike on the outside corner?
Just, they're at that point where they're trying to put it all together. They have all the pieces, they just need to be put together now. And it has been a task today with Emily Kennedy for as many gifts as she has given them.
And that is the 3rd strikeout of the ball game for Kennedy as the slap hitting Sacco just cannot make contact on that drop ball.
Solid pitch from Emily Kennedy, and it gets her 1 step closer to getting out of this inning.
Breaking ball in there to start off the at-bat with Barbary. Now the 0-1. Swing and a miss. And when Kennedy can get out in front, and this is true of most pitchers, but especially one as gifted as Kennedy, if she can work in front of the hitter, that changes everything. Runner takes off. A little hit and run may have been in action that time, and out in front was Barbary. She fouls it off. She'll stay alive, but St. Clair now has to jog back to the bag at first. One on and now 2 gone. That's a base hit towards the gap. Coming around second, coming around third is St. Clair. The throw will come home. It is not on target. St. Clair scores an RBI, 2-out base hit from Nadia Barbary, and we're tied at 4.
And what a hit from Nadia Barbary, who, I mean, just hit a bullet into center field. Take a look at it. It gave no one time to get under it, kept going, tracked to the wall, and was able to send St. Clair home. Had some help. Wasn't a throw on target to home either, so really gave the best opportunity of the day for a Mississippi State runner to take home.
And now the lead run is in scoring position. That'll be a double for Barbary. And it should also be an RBI for Barbary. And that may have been the first, I guess, mistake made on a relay throw home by A&M, because they had it timed up, I think, good enough.
I think if that throw is on target, I think it might be an out.
I agree. but State, since St. Clair, they were aggressive, essentially daring A&M to, again, make a perfect throw, and that time A&M couldn't. And that ball airmailed.
It pays off this time, and we'll see how vital it is later in the game. And now you see Madison Kennedy in a 3-0 count, and if I'm Emily Kennedy, it might be wise just to walk her.
Yeah, with first base open and 2 outs already, and that's exactly what, although I don't think Emily Kennedy was trying to walk her with that pitch. I think Kennedy was trying to throw her a strike, and got a little frustrated right there because she feels as if she maybe got that call an inning ago when she struck out Madison Kennedy. Did not get the call right there, though.
Regardless, I think it's the smart thing to do. You just can't let Madison Kennedy, who has already beat you once with the long ball, have an opportunity when there is already a runner on base and they could put more damage up.
Time is called by Samantha Ricketts. The Bulldogs might want to use a pinch runner here, and they will. It'll be a pinch runner at second base. I think Kiara Sells, number 9, the sophomore, will run at second base in place of Barbary. As Sells came out of the dugout, she wasn't quite sure who she was running for. So Sells, some extra speed now on in scoring position. Cook, a veteran, at the plate. And that'll be a strike. And Cook behind in the count, 0-2. Cook was walked her last time up, grounded out her first time up. Nice 2-strike approach right there. Fought off that one. Kennedy trying to keep State off the scoreboard again here in the 4th. The Dogs have been able to score a run on 1 hit. Cook on a changeup fouls it back and will do it again. St. Clair was walked, and then Barbary doubled to the gap in left center, and St. Clair scored all the way from first base, and that's where speed can really come into play. As St. Clair, I'm not sure if anybody else on State's team scores in that situation other than St. Clair.
Yeah, I agree with you. Just a tough position, and sometimes you get lucky with who's on base.
That'll be a base hit into right field. Stopping at third is Sells. And listen, hindsight is 2020. I don't think Mississippi State thought that A&M would cut off that throw from right field. They ended up actually throwing it to first base to try to get the out at first. Almost got the out at first base. And Sells almost ran right through the stop sign at third. She was thinking go all the way. And maybe she should have, but State didn't want to attempt it. We've already seen a couple of innings in that way on the weekend.
Yeah, regardless, I think holding her up at third is the right call. You've been beat on it way too many times. You're in a tie ball game. You would like the run, yes, but it's not a must-need at the moment. You only have 2 outs, so there's opportunities to score more throughout this inning. It's smart to hold up and see what comes at the next at-bat.
And Enright has a great arm in right field. So Cook gets the 2-out single. Bases are loaded for Mississippi State. They are trying to take their first lead of the weekend. And Samantha Ricketts is back out of the dugout, and there will be 2 pinch runners who will now hop on the bases for Mississippi State. Kennedy and Cook will both come off the dirt, and State will send in Burney, I believe, to run at first base, and Wallace, I think, to run at second base. I'm just guessing because I can't see the jersey numbers.
Yeah, that would. I think I'm with you. I think I agree. Because
yes,
it is.
That's who it is. Yeah, Wallace at second, Burney at first, with Fa'apito now at the plate.
Good educated guess. Thank you.
Even a blind squirrel sometimes, right?
Sometimes, I guess.
The count is 1-1 on Matalasi Fa'apito. Huge moment right here in the bottom of the 4th. Fa'apito hits it up into the air. is playable in right, and it's caught by Enright. State will leave the bases loaded.
Yeah, we do. It is State. It felt like we were going to have a repeat of the past couple of days early on when A&M put 3 up in the first inning, but Mississippi State able to match it, and then we're finally able to tie it back up once again in the previous half inning.
So back and forth we go. A&M, they've lost their lead for the second time today. They have the top of the order, though, leading things off here in the 5th. Coco Woolley, who is 0 for 2 today, but hurt State bad yesterday. Takes a strike at the knees on the inside corner. The count, 0-2 on Woolley, who grounded out both in the first and the second, her first 2 times up. Misses down and in, ball 1. Woolley, Hill, Cannon. If anyone reaches, Cottrell will step up for the Aggies, who have scored 4 runs on just 2 base hits, both of them home runs. A 2-hopper deep to the second baseman, and good job there by Hawkins, the freshman, to get the ball over to first in time. 4-3, and Woolley is retired for the 3rd time today.
And that looks like an awkward ball for Salyn Hawkins to field. Had her stepping back a little bit, and even on the bounce, was able to handle it, but did not look like an easy ball to handle. So good effort from her to get a quick first out.
And it brings up Jasmine Hill, who is 1 for 1 today. Drew a walk in the first, hit a home run to give the Aggies their last run on the board back in the second. So she's been on base twice and has scored twice. A very efficient offensive day so far for Hill, who takes a big swing and a miss at that one. And the count's 1-1. So Wesley gave up 3 runs in the first inning. Since then, has gone 3 1/3, has allowed just 1 run on 1 hit, has struck out 5, and has walked no one in the last 3 1/3 innings. The only run since that first, though, came off the bat of Jasmine Hill, who just destroyed a rise ball, a screaming home run to straightaway center field.
Just hit a laser. Looked like it should have gone straight to Sierra Sacco and went over her head, and then we thought it would drop at the warning track, and then went over the fence. So, I mean, just got all of it.
Foul tip. Strike 2. Count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Hill. Wesley and the Bulldogs trying to retire her for the first time today. Here comes the payoff pitch. High fly ball. Shallow and left. St. Clair calls for it as she makes the grab. That was hit sky high, a country mile, and the Bulldogs do in fact retire Hill eventually for a big out number 2.
I wasn't sure that it wasn't going to keep carrying due to the home run we saw on the top of the second inning, and still St. Clair able to make the play, but looked like she misjudged it initially and had to make a couple of steps to her left late to make the play.
At the plate now for the Aggies is the first baseman, Trinity Cannon. Bats 3rd in the order, 0 for 2 so far today. Has been an Aspen Wesley strikeout victim twice. Hits this one foul and out of play to the right side for a strike, and the count evens up. By the way, Kennedy and Barbary have both re-entered the game for Mississippi State, but Burney has remained in place of Cook. High fly ball, but it's foul. It's gone, but it's foul. Cannon. That ball was shot out of a cannon.
That was a monster hit. And I'm sure at Texas A&M is wishing that was about 20 feet to the right and stayed fair.
Yeah, Cannon just could not time it correctly, or else that would have been A&M's third homer of the ball game. Now the 1-2. Well, it's framed up well, but it just missed off the outside corner. The outside corner has just been unforgiving today. I don't care who you are, you're not going to get a call today on the outside corner against a right-handed hitter. It's not going to happen.
You can keep trying and be hopeful, but it doesn't feel like it's going to go their way today.
High fly ball, not very deep in right. Bernie underneath it, and she makes the catch. In fair territory, Cannon is now 0 for 3, and the Aggies go down in the order. So quickly, there's one gone, and there's no one on as the number 7 hitter in the order, Hawkins, steps up. She's trying to get on base for the first time today. That ball catches the bottom half of the strike zone. Strike 1 to the Bulldog freshman second baseman, batting now .343 on the season. Hits this one high in the air. Should be caught and will be caught. Ranging all the way over from center is Hill, and she makes the grab in front of Enright. Almost in right field. So quickly, there are 2 gone. We haven't seen Kennedy in the circle have a quick inning yet. But here she is on the verge of one in the home half of the 5th. As Kylie Edwards steps in. Is hitless so far today, but was hit by a pitch in one of her earlier at-bats. Batting over .300 on the season. Bulldog freshman shortstop. Boy, the strike zone's gotten big all of a sudden. Is it just me?
I think gradually as this has gone, it's gotten a little bigger, and now it's all at once.
That ball was gloved in fair territory. Wow, by Powell, and thrown across in time. That's a super quick 1-2-3 inning for the Aggies.
Otherwise, Aspen Wesley and Emily Kennedy have really found a groove, and has also been backed by their teammates to keep this very, very interesting.
Yeah, both teams defensively playing really well. Both teams have adjusted to the strike zone, and the strike zone has gotten a little more forgiving here in the 4th and 5th innings. I think it's fair to say. So those adjustments combine to give us the situation we find ourselves in. A 4-4 ball game, 2 top 25 teams. A nice crowd on hand. First SEC weekend in Starkville for Mississippi State. And we're headed for a good finish, I think. Strike delivered. 1-2 the count on Julia Cottrell. A .347 hitter, 0 for 1 today. Drew a walk though and scored back in the 1st. Swing and a miss. Boy, Wesley has the A&M hitters off balance now.
Yeah, she has found her groove and is dealing. Just able to get up early in the count, and once she gets early in the count, she has had the ability to put these pitches wherever she wants, as you can see, and is able to get batters to chase. And when she doesn't get them to chase, she freezes them up. Either way, it results in an out.
Ayanna Coleman steps in. Her 3-run homer got the scoring started for us today back in the 1st. That was an hour and 50 minutes ago. Swing and a miss. The rise ball has worked really well today for Wesley. He's gotten the Aggies chasing it most of the afternoon.
You know, we usually, when you get high in the pitch count, you usually see pitchers start to decline, and you got to be careful and watch them. It's the opposite for both of the pitchers today. They've gotten better the deeper they've gotten into this game, and they've both exceeded 100 pitches, which is insane to think of.
They've gotten all lathered up now. They're ready to go. 2-1 count on Coleman. Swing and a miss on a changeup. Beautifully done by Wesley, and the count evens up 2-2. Swing and a miss, and Wesley now with 9 strikeouts in the ballgame.
Yeah, threw 2 identical pitches to strike her out, and it feels like Aspen Wesley might have had Coleman's number since she took that home run from her in the first inning. 2 strikeouts since then, one looking, this one swinging, or excuse me, both swinging, and quietly, Aspen Wesley is approaching double-digit Ks today.
Would not have expected this after watching the first inning. Give credit to Wesley, the veteran right-hander, for battling back, and ever since that Hill home run in the second, the Aggies have not been able to do anything. As a really good hitter in Enright steps in, the first 2 pitches miss, 2 balls, no strikes to count. Enright so far today is 0 for 1 with a walk. Foul tip, strike 1. The Bulldogs still have Bernie and Wright. That was a change they made last inning. No other changes at the moment. Wesley has gone the distance. There's a strike, nicely done, right in the heart of the strike zone. And the count evens up 2-2 with 2 gone and no one on at the top of the 6th. Trying to get strikeout number 10 is Aspen Wesley. Not a bad idea, trying to see if Enright might chase that one, and Enright would not take the bait. Now the count goes full. Enright struck out her last time up. That was way back in the 3rd. Spoils that pitch on the outside corner, and we'll do it again. Well, the first 2 innings took a while. A lot of walks, a lot of full counts, a lot of long at-bats. Ever since then, we have just motored right on through innings 3 through 5. Oh, just barely staying alive is Enright. She was fooled on that one. They got those hands around just fast enough to foul it off. Well over 120 pitches now thrown by Wesley. Nice swing there by Enright, making Wesley fight for this one.
This is a rewarding battle for whoever wins it, whether it's Wesley or Enright. This is getting late in the ball game. This is something you want to win to give your team that momentum.
Enright hits 1-2. St. Clair, who makes an amazing catch in left field. He State tied at 4 after 5.5 innings of action.
And if you're just joining us, you might have just missed the play of the game.
Hard hit ball by Jesse Blaine to the wall. This should be a double, and it will be a double to lead off the inning by pinch hitter Jesse Blaine.
Maybe I spoke too soon. That might be one of the plays of the game as well. Puts a runner in early scoring position for the Bulldogs with no outs, bottom of the 6th.
And that was Blaine pinch hitting for St. Clair, who will now be reinserted into the game and will run at second base.
Who just made one of the best plays we've seen all weekend.
Now, you're not going to see a better catch than that in SEC softball than the one St. Clair made to end the top half of this inning.
Fully extends. I think you and I both thought that ball was going to land and it was going to be a double, if not a triple. And you see her lay out, and that ball finds its way in her glove. Just what a play.
And then Blaine comes up and rides that momentum, and on the very first pitch of the inning, hits one to the gap in left center. And now the Bulldogs in business. Sacco shows bunt and takes it off the outside corner, ball one.
Now a couple of opportunities for Mississippi State to drive home a run. You have no outs, so you've got time.
Bunt laid down. It stays fair. Holy cow. Everything going the Bulldogs' way at the moment. How that ball did not roll foul. That was some witchcraft right there.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure how that works, but if you are Sierra Sacco, you take what you can get, and you just made life a lot easier for the next three batters coming to the plate trying to bat at least one in.
And now the A&M defense has to come in on the dirt, expecting a play at the plate. We'll see if the Bulldogs are going to take off from third on any kind of a ground ball. Time called momentarily by Texas A&M. They may make a pitching change. And if they do, it'll be one of the few times this year they've had to take Emily Kennedy out of a ball game that she started.
It's definitely not been her best outing this season, but it's still been a very productive, very solid outing. She's got a total of 12 earned runs this season. A third of them, 4 of them, have come this game, just to show you how solid she's been this year.
That's remarkable.
And she is going to stay out there.
It's remarkable. And it also, though, is telling, because this is going to be something that A&M is going to see as they get deeper into SEC play. If they're going to throw Kennedy in the majority of their innings every single weekend, then come Sunday afternoon, really good offensive teams with really good coaching staffs are going to make adjustments. Barbary at the plate hits one foul down the line towards left, and that'll be strike two. A strikeout is exactly what the doctor ordered for Kennedy. If she can get one right here, ahead now of Barbary, 1-2.
Yeah, if you're Barbary, it feels like the least that you want is at least something to the outfield.
And A&M defends that really well. Ground ball left side. Nothing St. Clair could do. And Aggies go to second to get the middle runner. So Barbary could not get it to the outfield. She was trying to either go to the outfield or hit one to the right side. She could do neither of those things. And State will lose Sacco in the middle, but still less than 2 outs. The lead run and potential winning run is over at third. And here comes your pound for pound best hitter on the team, Madison Kennedy.
She already went long against Emily Kennedy in the bottom of the first inning. It's been a good little matchup between the two of them today and yesterday.
Kennedy has been on base twice today. That ball came in, gets away from the catcher. Coming home is St. Clair. She's safe, and the Bulldogs have taken the lead at 5-4 here in the 6th on a ball that got away from Cottrell, and St. Clair wasted no time and scores the potential winning run. I thought the ball might have hit Kennedy, but it never did. It just...
You take a look at it, another close call at home. I mean, you're holding your breath if you're Mississippi State with these plays at home, because they have not gone your way often, but they have gone St. Clair's way twice now. Has the tying run and now the leading run in the bottom of the 4th and now the bottom of the 6th.
That ball is going to be downstairs. First base was open, so that's one of those, I think, intentional walks as Kennedy is on base for the 3rd time today. Mississippi State on top, 5-4. Let's see this play at the plate. It just happened a couple of moments ago again as St. Clair takes off. The ball comes up and in. And I don't know what Cottrell was doing.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure if she just couldn't find it or.
I mean, nobody moved. It's almost as if the ball itself, the pitch, moved a little bit at the last split second. Hesitates any. She's out.
Yeah, and kind of surprised that she went home just because of the luck they've had at home.
Paige Cook hits one to right field immediately, and Enright makes the grab, and neither runner can advance. So Cook saw a pitch she wanted to hit, just could not get it cleanly, couldn't get all of it. So Cook reinserted into the game for Bernie to hit. And she flies out to right quickly. It's up now to Matalasi Fa'apito to keep the inning alive. The Bulldogs have scored a run on a couple of hits. There's a ball that gets away from Cottrell again. But Cottrell having a tough time in this inning. That's a couple of passed balls. The first one allows State to score. That one allows both Barbary and Kennedy to advance. And now you've got 2 on in scoring position. And Cottrell moving to her left has just not been able to get in front of many of those balls as that breaking ball stays high from Kennedy. And the count is now 2-0, or 3-0 rather, on Fa'apito.
And you just wonder how much longer Emily Kennedy can go. She had a complete game in game 1. She came in relief in game 2 and has started this game. She's got over 250 pitches thrown in the past 2 days. You've got to imagine.
Yeah, and that takes a toll on your legs and your back.
I mean, she's done all of that within 25 hours. Game 1 yesterday started at noon, I believe.
Yeah.
And it's now 1 o'clock Central, so.
And you can tell, I mean, just look at her face. She is in discomfort.
She has definitely taken the load for the Aggies this weekend. And when you're a star, this is what's asked of you. And she's done well with it, but you got to imagine there's a certain time where enough is enough.
Bases are loaded for Mississippi State. They lead by 1. Looking for insurance. Wesolowski fouls that one back towards third base. 1 ball, 1 strike on the Bulldog freshman catcher who has not reached base today. Grounded out in the 1st and 3rd, pumped out in the 5th, her last time up. Hits one that should drop in, and it will drop in. 1 run is in. Stopping at 3rd is Kennedy. Stopping at 2nd is Fa'apito. Wesolowski has just driven in State's 6th run of the ball game, and the Bulldogs are doing something that no team in America has done this year to Emily Kennedy.
Yeah, and you see over at third base where Madison Kennedy is now, was told to hold up, and
yes,
I think they finally learned, let's be smart about this. We've got the lead. Let's try and get some insurance. We don't need to end the inning right here. 2 outs, but I think a smart play to hold her up at third, and bases are still loaded.
Mississippi State trailed early 3-0. They trailed in the middle of the game 4-3. Ground ball to first base, gloved by Cannon, and she'll touch the bag to record the out. Mississippi State, though, takes the lead. 2 runs on 3.
It's been a heck of a game. We've seen a handful of home runs. We've seen quite a bit of strikeouts. We've seen a lot of walks as well. We've seen a little bit of everything, and it's been a thrill.
Aspen Wesley back in the circle trying to close things out and pitch a complete game. She'll face the bottom three in the A&M order. Wiggins, Eshte, and Powell are the three due up. If anyone reaches top of the order, Woolley will step back in. That ball was maybe a breaking ball that never broke, and the count evens up. Wiggins is 0 for 1 today. Drew a walk in the first, but then struck out in the fourth. A .303 hitter, though, on the year. She hits one hard, and this will be trouble. It's gone! Texas A&M has cut the lead to one. One swing of the bat, and Wiggins has her second home run of the weekend and A&M's third of the day, and the Bulldog lead is 6-5.
That's another one of those weird home runs where it looks like it should be fair, or I should say inside the park, and then it just keeps going. I mean, what a shot from Wiggins, though. A line drive right over the fence, and nothing St. Clair could do about it in left field.
That rise ball maybe just didn't quite rise enough, and it hung right over the plate, and Wiggins, a good hitter, knocks it out of the yard. For Wiggins, it'll be home run number 7 on the season. She is now tied for second on the team in home runs this year. Now the tying run steps up. Ball is grabbed. Throw to first, though, won't be in time. Tying run is on as Eshte gets on base. We haven't seen the Aggies do anything offensively, Cody, for 4 innings. And now here they are, backs up against the wall, and they are really swinging the bat here in the 7th inning.
Yeah, look like they are trying to do everything they can to extend this game, if not take the lead. And you got to give credit to Saylin Hawkins, though. That's a double if she doesn't lay out for that ball and at least saves a base or two.
Showing bunt, and bunting it foul is Powell. Good job there by Barbary, understanding the situation and saying, let it go foul. And it did for strike 1. So now A&M has the tying run on base, no one out. They can definitely be in a bunt situation right now if they want to.
Yeah, getting that first run back is always the toughest task, and they've already done that. Just have to keep chugging along, get some base hits, lay some bunts down, and they've already got 3 home runs today. Who's to say another one won't come for them?
Eshte has stolen 7 bases on the year. She's 7 of 8, so you wonder if she might take off at some point here. It counts 1-1 on Powell. Shows bunt, a good one, back to the circle. Throw to first is in time. So A&M does sacrifice the runner over. The Bulldogs get the first out of the 3 they need. So both teams, sort of get what they wanted to out of that exchange, and A&M has the runner on in scoring position that could tie the game.
And you would imagine State would really love a strikeout right about now. Wesley already has 9, is searching for number 10, and if you can get a strikeout here, you're 1 out away. Anything goes for an out.
And we might get a replay at first base. I'm not sure, though. We have our umpiring crew talking things over with Samantha Ricketts. We also had the A&M coaching staff come out of their dugout. So Coach Ricketts was explained what's going on. Now Coach Ford is getting an explanation. Hold on, they may be calling Powell back to the plate. No, okay, they're gonna move on, all right. So Eshte will stay at second. I have no clue what any of that was about. Do you?
I have no idea. I'm right with you. I'm trying to figure out what just happened.
So the out is recorded. 1 on, 1 gone. Coco Woolley at the plate. Little pop-up on the infield. and Kennedy comes in and grabs it for out number 2.
Would have liked to strike out, probably would have been the best idea, but that is just as good as a strikeout. Gives them 2 outs now, and you get 1 out here, you can call it a day for the Bulldogs.
Jasmine Hill's been a tough out today for the Bulldogs. She steps up, trying to be the hero for the Aggies. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Hill drew a walk and scored in the first, hit a solo homer to straightaway center in the second, and then flew out fairly deep to left her last time up in the 5th. The 0-1. That's in there, strike 2. Aspen Wesley and the Bulldogs now a strike away from getting a huge win over 17th ranked Texas A&M. A team that swept them in yesterday's doubleheader. Tying run on its second. The 0-2. High fly ball and foul and out of play. So we'll do it again as Hill will stay alive.
And it's really impressive to watch the improvement from game 1 to game 3 with Aspen Wesley. Just couldn't get anything going. Game 1 had it 1 2/3 innings of work and has gone the distance now. Has only allowed 5 runs, has 9 strikeouts, has really played the part in a crucial matchup.
And again, the 0-2. Ground ball foul. Hill will stay alive. Not a bad pitch at all. Kept it down in the zone. And Hill got out in front. Boy, Wesley has worked for everything today.
Yeah, and it's not like she's had gifts just lay in her hands. She's had to put work out there, and it's been earned for her today.
Hop up foul back off the netting behind home plate. It ends up in the glove of Westalowski, but Jasmine Hill tied for the team lead for A&M with 28 runs driven in. A base hit here would more than likely give her 29th RBI of the season and would extend the game for the Aggies. That ball again fouled back. Boy, Hill doing such a good job of fighting off these 2 strike pitches from Aspen Wesley.
Saw a lot of it yesterday. Haven't seen as much of it from the Aggies today, but you're seeing it when it matters the most now.
Pop up, that's foul again. Straight back over our heads. Oh, what a battle right here. Good on good. Wesley, state's best pitcher, numbers-wise, in the circle. And Hill, probably pound for pound, A&M's best hitter at the plate with the game on the line. Down in the dirt. No throw attempted to third base. So now you got to be concerned about a passed ball or a wild pitch that could allow Eshte to score from third.
Yeah, this is the wild thing about this at-bat. By my math, that was pitch number 8, and that was ball number 1. Had 2 strikes, and the rest were fouled off. That just tells you what kind of battle this is.
Upstairs, count evens up 2-2. Obviously, first and second bases are open with Cannon, who's 0 for 3 in the on-deck circle. You've seen Hill already hit a home run today. You wonder if you might pitch around her some now with a 2-2 count. High fly ball, foul territory, and caught by Nadia Barbary at the fence. What a